Okay. So, ang topic natin for this video will be business transaction cycle. Learning objectives is to know the nature and general business transaction cycle within the audit scope, evaluate the auditor's role in addressing fraud, error, and non-compliance. Next. Okay. So, we will also tackle the different business transaction cycles and what are the considerations for fraud, error, and non-compliance. Okay. So, what are business transaction cycles? Okay. So, business transaction cycles, these are structured sequences of related business activities like sales, purchases, payroll, production, asset acquisition, each involving measurable financial exchanges. So, in short, these are the different processes that are considered financial in nature. That's why we create financial transactions and we audit those financial transactions. Okay. So the management role is to design and implement the internal controls that will be applicable in these transaction cycles. Okay. Next slide. Ko lang ng konti. Okay. So key control elements to ensure that there is proper segregation of duties, and those who authorize to record and safeguard assets must be prepared to reduce risk. And the auditor's responsibility is to understand each transaction and to ensure that there is no fraud or error that will occur. Okay. Punta tayo sa types of business transactions. Okay. So types of business transactions, we have your revenue receipt cycle. So this involves your sales and your accounts receivable. Your expenditure and disbursement cycle, this includes your expenses and your accounts payable. Human resource and payroll cycle, so salaries ang pinag-uusapan dito. We also have your production or inventory cycle. So ang affected na accounts dito will be your inventory, your cost of goods sold, ano pa? Ayun, your inventory and your cost of goods sold. And you also have your investment cycle, syempre investment, and your financing cycle, which includes your long-term liabilities and your shareholders' equity. Okay, let's proceed to your revenue and receipt cycle, or also known, mas familiar to sa tawag na O2C or order to cash. Kaya siya tinawag na order to cash because you are generating sales and at the same time you are collecting the cash. Kaya siya order to cash. Okay? Sales order to cash. Okay. So it involves sales, billing, credit approval, shipping, and accounting. So those things that affects your sales receivable, cash, and allowances for doubtful accounts. Um, the OTC cycle starts with customer order and it ends with collection. Okay? Okay. So what are the documents or the example of a cash process? So, 'di ba, sa pag nagge-generate tayo ng sales, nag-start 'yan sa customer order. And then we will process the sales order and then kung utang 'yan, ipapa-approve natin 'yan sa credit department, ipapa-ship yung goods or services. Actually, minsan sabay na yung billing at saka yung shipping ng goods. Kasama na yung sales invoice dun sa shipping ng goods. And then afterwards, we will collect from the customer. Okay. So documents and accounting records of a revenue and receipt cycle, um, that that with these are internal. So kung titignan ninyo, wala na tayo nung customer order. Yung customer order, i-convert natin yan to sales order. Okay? So internal yan sa atin. So sales order, magkakaroon tayo ng credit approval. Hindi kasama dito yung customer order. Balikan ko lang. Kasi yung customer order is external to the company yan. Galing yan sa customer eh. Okay? Yung customer order, ang counterpart niyan sa company is yung tinatawag nating sales order. Okay? Sales order and then we will have your credit approval. Bill of lading, this is a proof dun sa shipping, okay? Or kung ikaw ay magpapaship sa ibang bansa, ang tawag doon ay manifesto, bill of lading. Hindi natin masyadong ginagamit sa Pinas yung bill of lading. Ang ginagamit natin ay delivery receipt, di ba? Or yung tawag dito, yung delivery receipt na mismo tayo eh. And then you also have your sales invoice. Your sales invoice, ito yung ginagamit natin to bill our clients. Remittance advice, galing po ito sa customers wherein proof of payment, ito, proof of payment. And then we also have your sales journal, cash receipts journal. So kapag nagkaroon na tayo ng sales, actually sabay yan, sales invoice, nililista sa sales journal, kung accounts receivable, at kung yung sales invoice naman ay cash, ilalagay yan sa cash receipts journal. And then of course, to record the transaction, we will use the general ledger. Okay? Next, control risk assessment of your revenue and receipt cycle. So, activities. So, a recorded sale shipment was made to a valid customer. So, this is a proof of your occurrence. So, ang control natin dito would be to verify the sales invoice at kung meron ba tayong legit na customer, you also have to check the invoice and the bill of lading. Okay, so test of control, all sales journal entries are verified against the sales order, invoice, and the bill of lading. Okay? All sale transactions are recorded. So, sa all sale transactions are recorded. Ang pinuproof naman natin dito na assertion is completeness kasi 'di ba? All sale transaction are recorded. Okay? So, ang flow ng ating evidence kapag tayo ay mag-audit ay all completeness yan, di ba? So, galing tayo sa source document, papunta tayo sa ledger. Okay? So, kung titignan mo ang source document mo dyan, nag-start yan sa sales invoice. Okay? Dapat pre-numbered yung sales invoice mo kasi kapag kulang, nawawala. Okay? Baka may hindi tayo na-record. Right? Revenue and cash receipts have been accurately recorded. Okay. So, dito, anong nangyari? Have been recorded. Ibig sabihin, completeness din. So, source document tayo. Okay. So, ang source document natin, kapag revenue and receipt, syempre, your sales invoice, pag cash receipts, remittances. Okay. A cash return is recorded based on the receiving report sent to accounting, and you also have to observe process and sample receiving report for sales return in subsidiary ledger. Okay? Next, let's proceed to your expenditure and disbursement cycle. Your expenditure and disbursement cycle, pinag-usapan dito will be expenses at saka your accounts payable. Kasama din dito yung purchases kasi in some way, ang purchases are considered as expenses. Yung cost of goods sold ninyo is expenses related to the products and services. Okay. So, paano nga ba ginagawa yung, okay, ang other term for expenditure and disbursement cycle or AP process is your procure to pay, or also known as P2P. Okay, yung isa kanina, order to cash, ito P2P, purchase to pay, or in other books, makikita nyo siya as procure to pay kasi may binibili ka, di ba? So it starts with your purchase requisition, ano ba yung gusto mong bilhin? And then the supplier will process the purchase order, and then magsisend tayo ng zero invoice to vendor and then to receiving department. Okay. Anong ginagawa ng receiving department? Okay. So, ulitin lang natin ha. Yung processing of purchase order, ipapadala na natin yan sa supplier. Magpapadala tayo ng, wala tayong babayaran, di ba? Sending of 0 pesos, sabi niya. Kasi wala muna tayong babayaran. Okay? Ang mangyayari would be, si receiving department, kapag na-receive na natin yung goods and services, siya yung mag-check, na-receive ko ba lahat ng nandoon sa purchase order. Okay? Kunwari, ang laman ng purchase order, 10 10 reams ng bond paper. Si receiving department, pag dumating yung bond paper, i-check niya of the same type ba and quantity yung na-receive niyang bond paper. And then, tatatakan niya yung purchase order na received by receiving department. Kasi yung purchase order, ina-attach po yun sa invoice ni vendor para sa processing ni accounting. Kasi ano naman ang basis ni accounting na na-receive na natin yung goods? Kasi ang accounting, guys, hindi po tayo yung nagre-receive ng goods, ha? Si receiving department yan. Or ang person involved dyan is si inventory custodian. Okay. So, pag na-deliver na yung goods, magkakaroon na tayo ng billing. Okay, yung billing ni vendor, ang basis ni accounting dyan will be yung inyong purchase order na ni-receive ni receiving department. And then we will now pay the vendor. And that's the end of your procure to pay process. Okay. Control risk assessment of your revenue and receipt cycle. Okay. Balik tayo sa revenue and receipt cycle. No. I think nagkamali sila dito ng title. Please change this. This is control risk assessment of your expenses and disbursement cycle. Kasi ito yung mga documents na kailangan po kapag tayo ay nag-analyze ng expenses and disbursement cycle. So you have your purchase order, purchase request. Sometimes yung purchase order at purchase request, iisa na lang po yan. Yung receiving department, um, yan po yung i-receive ni inventory custodian kung na-receive pa natin yung goods and services. And then we will record the purchase to their purchase journal. Your shipping document is also important because that also involves information as to who is the owner of the entity of the goods kapag in transit, di ba? And then you have your remittance advice. In this case, yung remittance advice is payment natin to your supplier. And then we also have your cash disbursement journal. Cash disbursement journal, dyan po nililista lahat ng cash expenses na binayaran through cash. Kapag through accounts payable naman, papasok siya sa accounts payable subsidiary ledger. Okay. Next. Mali-mali yung title nito. Ang title nito, guys, will be Control Risk Assessment of Your Expenses and Disbursement Cycle. Okay. So, activities natin is acquired goods are accurately recorded and valued. Okay. So, ang purpose natin dito will be accuracy, di ba? Kasi kailangan accurate daw yung recorded versus sa valued. So, anong mangyayari? So, we match your invoice amounts against the orders and receipts. We also observe the process of verification na ginagamit ni personnel or pwedeng si accounting to kasi siya yung nagbabayad eh. And then, next activity is to acquired goods are recorded accurately. So, same lang din yan. Yung invoice amounts, we will check with the purchase order kasi dapat parehas lang sila. And then, yung receipts natin. When you say receipts, resibo na po ito ha. Okay. And then, ang test of control is to observe the process of verification made by the personnel or the accounting department. Cash disbursements are recorded. So, ang tinitest naman natin dito sa activity na to is completeness. So, meaning, kompleto ba yung pagbayad natin. So, dapat ang control natin dito, pre-numbered yung cheque. At dapat naka-cheque, hindi tayo naka-cash as much as possible. Okay? And then, ano bang gagawin? So, you have to check kasi ang cash disbursements, ang source document niyan, cheque eh. So, you have to check if the checks are all recorded. Okay? So, doon mo siya malalaman na mapoprove niya yung assertion natin ng completeness. Okay. Types of documents and accounting records for business cycles. Sandali, test ko lang. Okay, let's proceed to your human resource and payroll cycle. So this covers activities from hiring to your payment of salaries. So it affects the liabilities and expenses such as salaries, taxes, payroll taxes ang pinag-uusapan at the taxes na income tax ha. Your income tax. Tama ba? Payroll tax. Tama. Withholding tax payable, rather. And your premiums, SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig. Okay? So, what are the documents that are required in the human resource and payroll cycle? You have your personal records, time card or daily time record. Yung personal records it is a proof na employee ka talaga ng company. Yung time record, it provides information as the number of time or the hours that you have worked. Your income tax return should be congruent to your withholding tax payable. Okay? And then you have your payroll register. Yan po yung listahan ng mga employees at saka kung magkano yung na-receive nila or pinrases nating cheque para sa kanila. That's your payroll register. It's confidential. Tayo lang nakakita niyan. Hindi yan pinapakita sa iba. You also have your labor cost summary. Labor cost summary is useful pagdating sa costing and pricing ng projects. And then you also have your employee earnings record or your pay slip. Okay? Yung payroll register, anong pinakaiba niyan? Yung payroll register at saka yung employee earnings records. Yung payroll register, it's for the whole company. So, lahat ng employees na pinapasahod ng company, nakalista po dito sa payroll register. While your employee earnings record is your payslip. Okay, sa inyo lang yan. Hindi po pinapakita sa iba ang payslip. Okay? Okay. So, what are the activities for your human resource and payroll cycle? So, activity number 1, recorded payroll transactions are for services received. Okay. So, to ensure na yung binabayaran mo are for the services that you have received, you have to check the time records. Okay? All employees listed in the employee master file exist. Okay? So, ano ang control natin dyan? So, yung mga personnel na nag-resign, dapat hindi nakasama sa master file natin or meron tayong sariling process ng pag-update ng master file. Okay? There also must be a segregation of duties between your payroll master file access. Okay? So, dapat iba yung access ni human resource, iba yung access ni accounting at or ni payroll manager. Next. Let's now proceed to your production or inventory cycle. So the process of production from raw materials, work in process to your finished goods. Documents required, ito mas familiar sa inyo to kasi nagko-cost accounting na kayo. Nag-cost accounting na pala kayo tapos na. Okay. So mag-start tayo sa production order. Production order is the required list of materials that will be needed to complete a job. And then you also have your time record para sa direct labor, your bill of materials for your materials that you are expecting to receive, material requisition. We also have your labor cost summary, material requisition summary, and your completed production report. Completed production report is the report that tells you ano ba yung direct materials, direct labor, and FOH na ginamit sa pag-complete ng isang job. Okay. So what are the activities involved in your inventory and production cycle? Tinamad na yung nag-edit ng PowerPoint. Number 1, all materials requested are for actual use for production. So ito, ang tinitingnan natin dito is yung authorization. Dapat approve yan ng manager na nag-supervise doon sa job. All requests of materials have been recorded. O, palitan nyo yan ha. All requests of all materials have been recorded. So, ang tinitingnan natin dito, completeness. So, pag completeness, from source document ka, papunta ka sa financial statement. So, tinatignan mo kung pre-numbered ba yung production orders at recorded ba yung mga production orders na yan. Next, transactions are properly presented and disclosed per standards. Okay. So, titignan mo ang chart of accounts and review of your And i-review mo yung chart of accounts kung kailangan mo ng updates. Okay. Your investment cycle pertains to purchase of your non-current assets. Okay. Naliinom lang ako. Okay. So this involves transactions affecting your PPE, intangibles, notes payable, at saka long-term payables kasi mabigat, malaki yan eh. Long-term yung pagbabayad sa ating non-current assets. Primary departments involved is your purchasing, accounting, treasury. Okay. Documents required for this investment cycle, share of stock certificate, bond certificate, broker's advice, commercial, parang mali na, sandali. Okay. Kasama din pala dito, equity. Take note, huwag kayo malilito dito ha. Pag investment cycle ang pinag-uusapan, you are the investor. Kayo yung bumibili ng shares. Kasi later on, financing cycle, pag-uusapan natin, same set of documents din. Kaso, ang perspective naman natin doon is tayo yung nagbebenta. Okay? So, control risk assessment for investment cycle, completeness and valuation of asset. Ano ba yung value currently ng assets mo? Paano mo ba siya ipipresent sa financial statements? And then, the investing transaction actually occurred. Okay. Pag occurrence, ang tinitignan mo is meron ka bang proof ng perfection ng contracts. You also have to provide existence of your investing transaction. So, pag existence po ang tinitignan natin at saka occurrence, from financial statements, papunta tayo sa source documents. Okay? Titignan mo yung valuation and then you will examine the source documents. Okay. Financing cycle naman, this involves your transactions involved in providing additional capital for your company. So, makikita ninyo dito, shareholders equity at saka non-current liabilities. Okay? Primarily managed by your treasury and your accounting department. The treasury po kasi, siya po yung department na naghahanap ng pera. Okay. Or finance department. Other term is finance department. Okay. So, control risk assessment for financing cycle. Your auditors assess the financing cycle risk by understanding the client through walkthroughs, inquiries, observation, and document reviews. Okay. The focus will be your transactions, account balances, and presentation disclosures. Ano pa bang important dito? Ito, important po ito sa financing transactions that major movement in your shares should be approved by your board of directors. Natutunan nyo rin to sa corporate law on corporation, di ba? Kailangan merong approval ng board members. Okay. Consideration of fraud, error, and non-compliance. Okay. Punta tayo sa fraud and error. So, pag sinabi nating fraud, it's an intentional. Okay? Intentional yan. Ibig sabihin, sinasadya mong manloko for personal gain. So, the auditors must focus on fraudulent financial transactions and misappropriation of assets. Ano ba yung fraudulent financial reporting? So, pag sinabi natin fraudulent financial reporting, ang ginagawa po dito is nagkagawa tayo ng fictitious transactions. Like for example, you want to have a lesser tax. So, yung sales mo, babawasan mo yun. Okay? Babawasan mo siya. Okay? Misappropriation of assets. Okay? Yung cash mo, sasabihin mo na nasa isang investment, nasa stocks, yun pala. Hindi naman pala existing yung company kung saan ka naka-invest ng stocks. So, those are considered misappropriation of assets or meron kang confidential fund. Okay? Characteristics of fraud, these are the reasons kung bakit nagkakaroon tayo ng fraud. Number one, incentive or pressure. For example, if a president, um, if a president's bonus is dependent upon the sales of the organization, syempre, siya yung may power, di ba? Ang gagawin niya dun sa sales would be, sasabihan niyo accountant, taasan mo na lang yung sales para mataas yung bonus ko. Okay? So, incentive yun. And also pressure from the shareholders. Okay? Kung gusto mataas ang income, tataasan natin yung sales, babawasan natin yung expenses. Perceive opportunity. Dahil ikaw yung may control, nakakita ka ng opportunity. For example, yung mga nag-a-approve ng disbursements, sila rin yung may control sa cash. Okay? So, meron silang opportunity para gumawa ng disbursement para sa kanilang account, 'di ba? Gagawa tayo ng accounts payable para sa anak mo. Ikaw din approver nun eh. Ito yun. Okay? And then yung rationalization. Okay? Pag sinabi nating rationalization, rational. Okay? Iniisip mo palang talagang magko-commit ka talaga ng fraud. Like for example, kaya ka sasali sa isang company kasi alam mo na magkakaroon ka ng advantage at ayun, kunwari, magulang mo yung president, tapos ikaw yung treasurer, o 'di ba? Nung pumasok ka pa lang, malalaman alam mo na gagawa ka na talaga ng hindi maganda, kaya nag-commit ka ng fraud, okay? So, what are the, procedures that we can do to detect fraud and error? Meron tayong risk assessment. Okay, so we have to understand the entity, evaluate the fraud and risk factors, conduct fraud discussion and brainstorming, identify risk of material misstatement due to fraud. You always presume fraud risk on revenue recognition. Okay, isipin mo lagi na merong fraud dyan sa pag-recognize ng revenue kasi nga babalikan nyo yung reasons kung bakit may fraud. Incentive, perceived opportunity, rationalization. So, ang risk response natin after your risk assessment is to perform procedures to address financial statement level of fraud risk. Okay? You also have to make your assertion level higher for fraud risk. Okay? Is there an identified fraud? Pag merong fraud ka na nakita, i-report mo sa management. Then, kapag wala, i-presume mo na may fraud pa rin sa revenue recognition. Okay. So, sa reporting, kapag nakita mo na may fraud, management pa rin yan. Kasi sila pa rin yung responsible sa financial statements eh. And then, kapag hindi nag-take ng action si management, i-require mo sila or you will communicate them to, you will communicate the fraud to the authorized agencies or kasama na dyan yung Securities and Exchange Commission natin at saka yung Board of Directors and evaluate the impact of that fraud in your audit opinion. Okay? Baba ko lang. Okay. So audit procedures responsive to risks related to management override of controls. Okay. So, you check your journal entries and other adjustment. Madalas po kasi, ang fraud, nakikita yan sa adjustments, di ba? Okay. Kasi ang accountant, i-record niya kung ano yung mga nangyari. Pero sa adjustments, dyan mangyayari yung mga magic. Kaya you check the journal entries and the other adjustments. Nilipat itong, kunwari, meron kang penalty from BIR. Ang penalty from BIR, hindi po siya deductible expenses. So, yung penalty from BIR, sometimes, ang ginagawa ng mga managers dyan, nire-reclassify or nililipat siya sa ibang general ledger account. Like, for example, tax penalty siya pero gagawin ko siyang employee benefits. Para ang mangyayari, deductible yung expenses, di ba? Makikita mo yung fraud na yun dun sa adjusting journal entries. Okay. You also check the accounting estimates, okay? And then after that, you evaluate the audit evidence. You provide business rationale for significant transactions, or you let the business explain to you kung bakit ganun ba yung naging rationale nila sa pag-treat ng significant transactions. And then you write your opinion. Okay? Next, let's proceed to the audit procedures for non-compliance. So what if may fraud ka talagang na-involve, nakita, may fraud ka na-identify, may mistake or error, anong gagawin mo? You have to inform the management. Kapag hindi nag-act si management, i-report mo sa higher authority, Board of Directors, Securities and Exchange Commission. Okay? Pag ayaw pa rin, pero syempre, kapag hindi pa rin nila binago yung financial statements at kinorek pa rin, hindi nila kinorek, you also have to provide the necessary audit opinion. Okay? Ano ba yung pwede nating ibigay? Kapag hindi ka nakapaggawa ng audit o hindi mo nagawa ng tama yung audit mo, hindi ka nakagather ng evidence. That's disclaimer of opinion. Okay? You can also provide modified opinion or adverse opinion. Modified opinion kapag medyo mild lang yung errors, pero kapag may fraud, adverse opinion po yung ibibigay ninyo. Okay? Okay, so I think that's it for this handout. I'll end the recording here.